Alright guys, so this is another Patreon request, and this one comes from Cyborg 19.99, who asked me to do a hero-villain mashup between Totally Spies and Cobra. And as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon where you guys can hit the 4th tier, and start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube, as well as check out the exclusive content over on Patreon as well. So, having said all that, let's get started with this video. So, Hero Villain Mashup is a video series that I used to do here, and then now do exclusively on Patreon. Now, this is basically, for those who don't know, this series is basically where I take a character or hero and put them up against, like, what would it be like if this character was their villain? Not so much a fight, but more like, what would it be like if this was in their rogues gallery? So basically, let's have Sam, Alex, and Clover, and what would it be like if they had to go up against Cobra? Like, what would it be like if Cobra was their enemy? Now, the thing about Totally Spies is that all of their enemies are, like, super goofy and kitschy and all that. But the thing of it is, yeah, these guys are kind of, like, Cobra is in a different league. Like, Cobra is a legit different league than you would ever expect. These guys are brutal, these guys are violent, they are just, they are nothing short of monsters. Yeah, these guys don't, the word pity is not in their vocabulary. I mean, hell, I talk about this a lot, but in the IDW comics, yeah, Cobra Commander brutally murdered his own son just to make a point of no one is safe in this organization. So, yeah, Cobra is just a level of brutality that the Spies are just not used to in any way, shape, or form. The members of Cobra, it's not just Cobra, you see, it's not just Cobra Commander that is also just a raging pile of evil. It's also the fact that, like, you have other, like, serious monsters and I use that term in the sense that, yeah, these guys are people who are just literally the worst human beings. You have Storm Shadow, who leads his own pack of ninjas. You have Destro, who is an arms dealer who has political immunity. You have Baroness, who's a master assassin. And you have other psychopaths like Firefly and Major Blood and, you know, Dr. Mindbender, who makes all this horrible things. Which, side note, I think we can all agree, like, just a quick side note, I think we can all agree that, you know, knowing how fetishy Totally Spies was, and rather is, it's still going, I think we can all agree that, I think we could literally all agree that, if the Spies were captured by Cobra, Dr. Mindbender would probably turn them into some really, like, horrendous things, like just absolutely awful snake human hybrid atrocities that would also make some of the Cobra soldiers go, I kind of want to fuck the snake thing. You're sick, Jerry. I know. I just imagine, like, that would just be a comment between, like, two random Cobra soldiers. But that's the thing, is that, like, the Spies, all their gear and gadgets are all like, yeah, let's, like, it's all girl power, and while a lot of it is cool, and they do, and to their credit, they are great, you know, they are good hand-to-hand fighters, we're talking about an organization that is globally spanning. Like, I would not be shocked if like, Cobra infiltrated Whoop and had agents on their side. Like, I would not be shocked if, like, they did have, like, some kind of, like, organization, or, like, some kind of, like, they had troops in their own, like, their own spies and whatever. Probably even maybe, like, that's the other thing, Zartan, master of disguises, would probably kill Jerry and infiltrate and pretend to be Jerry to take out Whoop from the inside out, and then, you know, probably throw the Spies into, literally, like, he would throw them into a situation where they'd all get killed, and then be like, sorry girls, take, like, the disguise comes off, but you're all going to die. And then they all just get horribly ripped to shreds. I'm not trying to say, like, the Spies would... I'm not trying to say this is, like, I hate Totally Spies. I love the show in all its weirdness. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, when you put them against an organization that is literally hell-bent on world order, on like not world order, but world domination by any means necessary, and when you have a leader who will kill his own children to prove a point, yeah, it's time to call. It's time to. It's time. The spies are going to be nothing short of just fucked. Like, that's the best way I could say, is that they are nothing short of just being absolutely 100% fucked. No, in no way, no way, shape, or form. Not only that, the spies, literally, they call themselves by their own name. You think Cobra would not do, like, something like, it's not like with the other villains who'd be like, oh, well, I'll get you next time. No, they would go to their houses and find out who they live with and who their family members are, and systematically kill everyone who's even said 2 syllables to them, just to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, guys. There's my Patreon request from Jason Voorhees 2011. And as always, I'd like to thank, not Jason Voorhees 2011, I meant Cyborg 19.99. Excuse me for that. Sorry about that, Cyborg. But yeah, thank you once again for the Patreon request and your continued patronage. And like I said before, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.